Thought I'd do a quick little experiment and share the results, what I found. I've always been sort of curious as to exactly what kind of profile I actually get whenever I do a bend on my metal brake. What you're looking at here is basically the test section from the back of the aileron. It's already been compressed down from 130 degrees down to the maximum that I could do it, as demonstrated in a prior video. And the setup that I've got here is I've got a mill, and what you're seeing right here is called an optical center. And normal usage would be you would use this to help either find edges, or maybe center up to holes, in any other situation where you might want to do fine measurements. Now, the other thing you can do is when you've got a DRO installed on your mill, like I do on mine, this can also allow you to make measurements over between different points. So I thought what I would do is use the optical center and the DRO to just follow along the line here and see exactly what kind of profile I am actually getting whenever I do a bend on my brake, and in addition when I do a manual compression after a bend. It's really not possible for me to point the video camera down the optical center scope, but what I did do is I created a little adapter to at least sort of get the camera sort of semi-lined up on here. And of course, obviously this is the crosshair, which it should be in line with the center of with the bore of the mill. But in this case, I'm not interested in finding centers. I'm just using this as a way to just make sure that I'm following along. So, of course, I can go along, adjust my X and my Y. So, went along and collected a series of data points, and we'll essentially dump these all into a spreadsheet, and then took the results of that. I was able to import those points into my CAD software, and I generated a set of plots. And in particular, I was sort of curious to see what the radius would be. So this is actually a plot that I did from a 107-degree bend, approximately. And I don't know, it got cut off here, but I found that the diameter along here is approximately 6 millimeters, so it's slightly under the quarter-inch diameter, 1/8-inch radius that's recommended. So, but that's, fine, that's close enough. Now for the 130-degree, which is what I was just showing inside of the or showing mounted up on the mill. Again, 130 degrees, and again, manually fitting using my CAD software a circle to it. Again, it comes out pretty good at 6 millimeter diameter. Now, a little bit more interesting is what happens when the maximum bend on my brake is 130 degrees, and of course I needed to be able to get down to 17 degrees. So it was sort of interesting to see what happened when I manually compress on that. Now, I really wasn't expecting the 6 millimeter diameter of my bend to hold, because there's really nothing supporting it. And in this case, the diameter went down to 5.35 millimeters as far as the edge goes. The other thing I find that's sort of interesting here is on the prior one, you notice that I followed along the tangent, and it comes up pretty nicely from the tangent line. This would essentially correspond to the tangent line on in the drawings that I have when I do a flat projection of the bends that I'm going to do. But on the other hand, this one, it has a little bit more of it's sort of pulled up a little bit, in addition to getting compressed down some. So that's all I'll cover on this. Like I said, I thought this would be it was sort of an interesting little experiment, just to get a better idea of exactly what's happening to the bend, as opposed to what you get in calculations, and just sort of get an idea of how reality and any bend calculations I might be doing actually match up.